Hey, Stephen Young here at High Octane Classics in Auburn, Massachusetts with a classic from 1977, a Pontiac Trans Am. Now, if you know your Hollywood movie history, you'll remember Smokey and the Bandit with Bert and Sally, who drove around in a car very similar to this one and made celluloid movie history. Well, a lot of regular folks also made history in their Trans Ams. In fact, 68,744 Trans Ams were built in 1977, supposedly a year that nobody wanted performance cars. Well, they sure did. And this is a great example of the breed and of the bird. Speaking of which, here we have the great Trans Am. We don't call this the Screaming Chicken, let's call it Phoenix Rising. That's what I'd call that. But here it is, the Trans Am Phoenix breathing fire. The shaker hood, of course, right here. TA 6.6, which tells us this one was born with the Pontiac 400. It does have the Z in the VIN, so it was born a 400 car. But something special and new for 1977 was this, the squinting rectangular headlight Banshee grille. 76, these would have been round headlights with a less aggressive looking face. So these were 2-year deals, 76 or 77 and 78 with the Banshee. And of course, Banshee refers to the Pontiac show car of the early 70s called the Banshee, not the electric Charger of today. But again, a timeless look right here, but most importantly, under the hood, as every Trans Am should, it has a nasty V8. Now you got to remember that 1977, you know, the 400 was detuned. It wasn't a Ram Air, nothing like that. So this one's been fortified with some goodies to bring it to 470 horsepower and 470 foot-pounds of torque. So this is not something that Pontiac built in 77, but it's got dyno papers to prove its output. It's got Edelbrock aluminum cylinder heads right here with larger ports and valves than the iron heads that would have had from Pontiac. Has a dual plane Edelbrock intake manifold and a Holley 4-barrel carburetor sitting underneath the shaker hood. And of course, Doug's headers instead of the cast iron manifolds it would have had from Pontiac. So again, 470 horsepower and 470 foot-pounds of torque. Best of all, this car was born Starlight Black. We know that because the trim tag here has the code 19. And this is absolutely, without a doubt, a black Trans Am. Now, it's been given the special edition treatment with the gold stickers, but again, a black Trans Am from the factory, 1977, pretty rare bird. Inside, there it is, the bucket seat interior, center console, rebuilt automatic transmission. It has the special edition style gold highlights on the steering wheel and the engine turn dashboard. Again, those are things found on the SE version of Trans Am and present here on this real Trans Am. And speaking of Trans Am, in reality, we know it's not a Sport Coupe or an Esprit because the VIN has a W in the second spot. W means Trans Am. So it's a black Trans Am right from the factory. Nice thing too, are these 17-inch honeycomb style wheels. This would have had a 15-inch wheel from the factory back in the day, but these are much larger and wider. And they have name brand BF Goodrich radial tires. And just the goodness for the Trans Am goodness continues from front to back, including the beautiful ducktail spoiler, which was the cat's meow, as they might say, back in the 1970s. So if you're driving a Mustang 2 with your little 302 2-barrel, you did not want to try and pass one of these things. In fact, the Chevy Z28 Camaro was also something that might want to think twice before messing with a Trans Am. The Z28s were 350 powered. These things had 400s in 1977. So the last American muscle car, really right here in the 1970s. And like any good Trans Am, this does have the exhaust splitters right down here. That was a factory option. Those chrome tailpipes right there, the splitters, which pay tribute to the optional tailpipes on the 64 and 5 and thereabouts Pontiac GTO. So to learn more about this car, you'll want to check it out on the High Octane Classics website. And keep in mind that High Octane Classics can sell you this car with as little as 10% down, and they do consider trades of pretty much any type. Anything is certainly on the table for consideration. And this car might be located in Auburn, Mass today, right now, but we can ship this anywhere on the globe to you if you decide you need to own it. And also keep in mind that High Octane Classics has been in business for about 15 years with another 15 to go, and they're always looking to purchase collections, either 1 or 20 vehicles. If you have a vehicle or vehicles to sell, give High Octane Classics a call at 508-859-4515 and learn more about this 1977 Pontiac 400 cube, 470 horsepower automatic Trans Am. Check it out on the High Octane Classics website.